Flag Circle in Nimitz Hill was filled with local and Department of Defense officials and guests as they witnessed the change of command ceremony for the Joint Region Marianas commander. Vice Admiral William French also returned to Guam as the guest speaker. In his final address, outgoing Commander Rear Admiral Paul Bushong says he and his wife Donna enjoyed serving on Guam for the last 4.5 years, spread out over 2 tours. In fact, Bushong spent a majority of his farewell remarks talking about the island's history with the military and its strategic role. While he says he cares very deeply about the island, he expressed strong opinions about a number of Guam's issues, particularly with how the Guam military buildup has been handled. Bushong argues if everything were to fit inside the military's current footprint, it wouldn't benefit the local economy or population. He also talks about the controversial firing range issue, saying of Guam's undeveloped lands are more ideal for a firing range.
Here's the real rub. The government of Guam, which, by the way, owns 48% of the island, and I have to ask you, what is that doing for you, has low-value land with no utilities and no services, which would be an ideal location for a range. The Navy, on the other hand, which now owns only 27% of the island and is fully committed to owning less land when this buildup is completed, has high-value, developed land, some of which has fully functional housing, which could be part of our net negative commitment.
Using an analogy with a golf term called a mulligan, Bushong says Guam has a second chance to hit its mark in getting the military buildup back on track. He also called on the island's leaders to step up and lead.
So here's where we are, in my opinion. Before we spend another 3 years in studying the options for Marine Corps siting, it is time for Guam leadership to step up and lead. Time to tee up your mulligan and get this buildup back on track to the benefit of the island and the people of Guam. You proposed the Route 15 site earlier, and then you scurried for cover when a few activists made some public statements. Time to man up.
The actual change of command ceremony was brief, and after Bushong was relieved of his duties, Rear Admiral Tillman Payne made his first speech as commander of Joint Region Marianas. Payne comes to the island after serving as the Navy Region Midwest Commander in Great Lakes, Illinois. He says despite the challenges ahead, he looks forward to learning more about the island and talks about the 3 priorities of we're fighting first, operating forward, and being ready.
When you couple these with the recently announced strategic rebalance of our forces to the Pacific, it places Guam squarely in the forefront of our national strategy and what America is doing to safeguard our national security and maintain global stability. We've always been focused on these things in Guam, and I can't think of a more dynamic and interesting place to serve.